The situation in France is getting worse and worse for Emmanuel Macron as Marine Le Pen and her party are getting ready for power. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel that challenges the mainstream media and the political establishment, from the left-wing nutters to the globalist elite. We've been reporting regularly on what's going on across the continent, especially in France. Macron is not having a good year, and we know that the protests continue across France and especially in Paris. There's a bit of a problem because this is all his own doing, his mismanagement politically and diplomatically. We have a situation where there's a coalition of protesters and rioters. You got the hard left, you got the trade union left, you got the anti-establishment right. You've got basically anybody who just doesn't like Macron on the streets, causing trouble, and he just makes everything worse. Now, the latest opinion polls and also surveys has been going around shows that Marine Le Pen and her party are becoming extremely popular, up to a point where if there was an election tomorrow, she would win by landslide. Well, to an extent. We know that obviously she attempted in 2016, and obviously even last election, Macron just about beat Le Pen, but that tension remained in France, especially the way Macron has been too busy on the international stage rather than focusing on domestic politics. And not necessarily policies, but politics, because he's got certain policies, including the retirement age going up and all that. But the problem with this is that while he's been too focused on creating a new European Union, the European political community, or going around shaking hands with President Xi, or try to broker a deal between Putin and Zelensky, he's kind of neglected the political atmosphere in France. We now have a situation where obviously Macron himself is not allowed to run next time, but his party, or it's essentially a party, it's a caucus that is being created by Macron. The yellow one is on 23%. Le Pen is the black one, 32%. Absolutely crazy. Now, Mélenchon, who's obviously the more far left candidate, is currently, and party leader, is on 19%. So Macron is getting as low as the far left in France. It's not really looking good for Macron, or it's not necessarily, as I said, Macron himself, because he can't run next time, but he represents what we call so-called globalist centrism. Technically speaking, he's a centrist, obviously, depending on what policy you're focusing on. Even neck and neck, one-on-one, Macron will be on 46% and Le Pen will be on 54%, which means that the majority of the French right now would prefer to have Marine Le Pen. Yeah, this is going to be absolutely fascinating as we get closer to the next election, because regardless of who is up against Le Pen, we could finally see President Marine Le Pen in France. Absolutely fascinating. So, look at Emmanuel Macron's popularity since 2017 onwards. He had his peak, which was about 65%, 64%, and now he's gone down to 23%. Well, actually, it's getting closer to about 28%. But to be fair, the lowest he's had was about 2018, which is about 23%. But the reality is, look at the second term. It's completely downward ever since he became president again. And the issue that they're now facing is that obviously you've got the regional, local elections, you've got by-elections, and everything else will be happening in France. And as we get closer to the next one, you can see how voters currently see Marine Le Pen as an alternative. So, 58% believe that she understands the concerns of the people. That is huge. 57% believe that she has democratic values. 52% believe that she is competent. That is huge. And 51% believe that she is able to reform the country. And 47% believe that she has a stature of a president. 47%. That's basically half. These are good numbers. Usually, politicians will be happy with 38%, 42% on any of these figures. This is absolutely incredible what's going on in France. But as I said, people have to be careful who they're backing during these riots and protests, because not all these protesters are legitimate. So you've got the far left taking advantage, you've got the anarchists, you've got the ones who just want a revolution, and you've got the right-wing anti-establishment people. You've got those who are specifically against the policy that reformed on pensions and retirement. But if you, on a blanket way policy, if you just back all of them, this is how chaos happens. Because he might go, he might even resign, but the next person could be the far left. Do not underestimate the French when it comes to their own destruction. So they're not going to necessarily do a revolution and bring on some sort of centre-right democratic leader. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. We have other updates for you guys throughout the day. I'm Mahyar, Tousi, and we are the media.